In Cleveland, and he says hello. Ted, welcome. How are you today, buddy? What do you have for me?
I'm doing great, Chris. I just got back from overseas for the past 3 years. I used to listen to you all the time and call in from time to time, but it's been a while. So I wanted to call you today to tell you, can we please stop talking about the Olympics, because no one really cares, man. I was thinking, I got a haircut today at the barbershop. And at the barbershop, we always talk sports in. We sat there for an hour, and the word Olympics wasn't mentioned one time.
Really? Wow.
Not once, and I'm 26 years old, and I'm listening to your show, and I'm thinking.
But Ted, are you married? Are you married, Ted?
Yes, I am.
Your wife doesn't. Your wife's not into the skating?
Not at all. Nah, she's a football junkie and baseball junkie like I am, Chris. So yeah, she's not into it either. So, and I was just thinking, like growing up. I can't recall one time where me and my friends were like, oh, man, I can't wait to watch the Olympics. I mean, besides, like, seeing Phelps is a great run and watching, like, USA basketball, other than that, it's just I don't even care. I've got no interest. So I was wondering, Chris, while I have
it's fair. I mean, see, I'm older, and in my generation when I was – not 26, a little younger than that, when I was in my teens. Now, I didn't love the Winter Olympics as much as I loved the Summer Olympics, but I heard Steve say the same thing. You look forward to it. I can remember Jean-Claude Killet. I can remember the hockey was never great because it was always amateurs, but I certainly remember Lake Placid in 1980. I was 21 years of age. That was different because that was, out of nowhere. But, I mean, for the most part, and that stole that Olympic game. I remember Eric Heiden. I remember all these great skaters. I even remember Peggy Fleming. But I don't have that juice anymore for whatever the reason. I know whether, it's a little too manufactured. It's manufactured, Ted, as a television show instead of a sporting event. And I think that's the biggest problem.
I 100% agree with that. I 100% agree with that, Chris. And if you don't mind, while I got you real quick, I wanted to ask you a two-part question about my Browns really quick. You mind?
Go ahead. Let me hear. Fire away.
So, if the Browns take a quarterback at 1-4, who do you think they should get? Or if they decide to sign a veteran free agent, what do you think their best option is?
Well, I thought last week when it occurred that maybe making a run at Kirk Cousins, they have $100 million under the cap, give him all that money, and maybe get Barkley, and then if they can get somebody at the 4th pick, or they can trade it for a bunch of picks if there's still a quarterback available. That's what I originally was thinking about last week. Now, since then, I have gone a little bit the other way because I think there is something to drafting that young quarterback who turns out to be the savior of your franchise, and maybe that would be more enjoyable from a fan perspective. Now, it's much bigger of a gamble. I mean, listen, Cousins he's a nomad who's going to take the most money, so he don't care about the Browns. He cares about getting paid. You'd like to take a guy who wants to Kosar. Grew up in Boardman, Ohio. You like to take a guy who, is cherishing the idea of bringing the Browns on his back and doing his thing. That's what you'd like to do, and the fans can, grow with the young QB. I mean, that's the romantic way to do it. So I think maybe they'll probably do that instead. Jordan in Atlanta, he's on Mad Dog Unleashed. Hello, Jordan. How are you today? What do you have for me?
Doing great, Chris. How are you today?
Fine, Jordan. Thank you. Let me hear what's on your mind.
I think you got it wrong on the Olympics. I think it's the easy take to say nobody cares, they're boring, etc. I mean, these skaters, skiers, bobsledders, whatever it is, they're the best in the world at what they do, and it's no different from any other top-level sporting competition.
Yeah, but you don't. But you and I,
triple jumps are better athletes than NHLers.
Yeah, I know, but by the same token, we've played basketball, we have played baseball, we have played touch football, we've played golf, we've played tennis. I don't know what it's like to go on a bobsled. Or skate fast, or go, do a ski jump at, 9 miles in the air. So, I mean, you're right, but I can't identify with it because I don't do it.
What it's like. I've played basketball. I don't know what it's like to be LeBron James.
But you've played basketball. You have played. But Jordan, you've played basketball. You've played.
Not very well.
But you've played. You have not done it. You have not done a half.
I've been on ice before, and I know I can't do half of what these people do on ice or on snow. I've skied before.
Yeah, so you're into it. Now, again, a lot of this is not going to be live. How about the time delay? Time difference.
Well, I think I'm glad you brought that up, because I think with what they're doing, with putting a lot of it on, like you said, in that late morning to early afternoon slot over there, which I'm sure if I was an attendee or someone in Korea, I wouldn't love very much, but that definitely helps it a lot. I don't get into it as much when you have the tape delayed, prepackaged NBC stuff going on, because it's really hard to avoid the results beforehand and don't get into as much. But with a lot of it actually being live in prime time, I think it's very easy to get into.
All right, well, let me give you a day now on the prime time schedule, all right? And you tell me if you're going to get... I'll give you next Friday, and I will give you this live on NBC in prime time next Friday. They will do the 16th. All right, they're going to do the figure skating men's gold medal final, 8 to midnight. It's live. Will you get into that?
Absolutely.
You will. All right. I'll give you another day.
I like I said, they're the best at what they do. It's fun.
All right.
You know, I can catch a sitcom some other time.
All right. I'll give you another day. Good job. You gave me a good one. All right. I'll give you Tuesday, February 13th, 8 to 11:30. You ready? Figure skating, the pairs short program. It's live. Are you going to get into it?
The pairs, if you're ranking the figure skating events for me, I think the pairs come behind the individuals, but the pairs still probably come before the ice dancing. The pairs, they're still throwing each other around, doing triple jumps and whatnot. So, again, why not? I mean, what else is it up against?
Well,
Rockets and Sixers?
Yeah, I get it. Good point. So Jordan's into it. Continuing here on Mad Dog Unleashed.
This is the